It was 3:47 p.m. when I realized the text wasn't adding up. Can't talk right now, stuck in meetings all day, she'd written that morning. 8 simple words that should have felt normal. Routine. But something about them snagged in my mind, like a loose thread begging to be pulled. Maybe it was the lack of her usual heart emoji. Or the way she said all day, when I knew her Fridays were half days at the firm. First I brushed it off. People got busy. Deadlines ran late. I wasn't the kind of man who hovered over timestamps or second-guessed messages. At least I used to think I wasn't. But lately, small things had been stacking up, like faint scratches on glass you can't stop noticing once the light hits them. The new perfume she wore only when she worked late. Her phone turned face down, screen locked even when we were alone. The faint hesitation before saying, "love you" at night. I told myself I was being paranoid. That stress was making me suspicious. But that afternoon, while scrolling through social media during my break, a photo stopped me cold. Her best friend, Lily, had posted an Instagram story from the downtown art district. I almost skipped it, until I noticed a familiar silhouette reflected in the gallery window behind her. Long hair. Cream trench coat. The same one my fiancé had worn this morning. And standing beside her, his hand resting on her back like it belonged there, was her boss. I stared at the image until my heart started pounding loud enough to drown everything else out. It could have been innocent, I told myself. Maybe it was a client event. Maybe I was imagining what I wanted not to see. But my chest ached with the weight of denial. Called her. Straight to voicemail. I texted. "Hope your meetings are going well." No reply. By 5 p.m., I was in my car, driving toward downtown like a man following the scent of something he already knew would ruin him. Traffic blurred around me, a smear of red lights and late October haze. The closer I got, the tighter my grip on the wheel became. I didn't even know what I planned to do. Confront her? Spy on her? Walk away? Every scenario felt impossible, yet I couldn't stop. When I reached the gallery district, I parked near the curb and scanned the block. Then I saw her, standing outside a wine bar, laughing at something he said. Her posture was relaxed, intimate. His hand brushed a strand of hair from her face. That tiny gesture hit harder than a slap. For a long moment I couldn't breathe. My throat burned, my pulse roared in my ears, and all I could think was how familiar that look on her face used to be. She used to laugh like that with me. I wanted to storm up to them, demand the truth, make her see what she was doing, but I didn't. Instead, I watched as they went inside together. I followed a few minutes later, heart hammering. Inside, the place glowed with amber light, soft jazz floating in the air. Couples sat close together at the bar, their laughter blending into a quiet hum. I spotted them in a corner booth, their hands intertwined beneath the table. That sight carved something open inside me. I turned away before either of them noticed. My hands trembled as I stepped outside, gulping in the cool air. The city around me pulsed with life. Cars, laughter, distant music, but I felt detached, like I'd slipped out of my own body. Back in the car, I stared at my phone. I typed a message. "Hope those meetings aren't too boring." Then, after a long pause, I hit send. Through the bar window, I saw her glance at her phone, then back at him. Her smile faltered for a second. Barely a flicker, but it was enough. She typed something quickly, then silenced her phone again. 10 minutes later, she replied. "Still in a meeting. Can I call later?" I stared at those words, the lie sitting there in digital black and white. Any trace of doubt I'd had evaporated. I didn't go home that night. I drove aimlessly, ending up at a 24-hour diner outside town. The fluorescent lights buzzed softly as I sat in a corner booth, untouched coffee cooling in front of me. My mind kept replaying every detail of the past few months, searching for the moment it all began to unravel. Was it when she started working weekends? When she claimed she was too tired to talk? Or had I missed something even earlier? Something that would have shown me who she really was. Part of me wanted to hate her. Another part wanted to pretend this wasn't real. I kept thinking about the wedding invitations sitting on our dining table, the deposit we'd just paid for the venue. I'd built my future around a woman who'd already started erasing me from hers. Around midnight I made a decision. Not the kind people make in anger, but the kind that comes from clarity, the kind that hurts because it's final. The next morning I went home, gathered her things into boxes, and left them neatly by the door. Her closet looked hollow without her clothes, but somehow the emptiness suited it. At noon she called, her voice bright and casual. "Hey babe. Sorry about yesterday. Long day of meetings." I stayed silent long enough for her confidence to falter. "Hello." "Yeah," I said finally. "Meetings. Must have been exhausting." There was a pause. The kind that stretches, fragile and dangerous. "What do you mean?" she asked, her tone sharp now. "I saw you," I said quietly. "At the wine bar. With him." Silence. Then a soft exhale. "It's not what you think." "It never is," I said. She started crying, soft at first, then heavier. Words spilled out between sobs. Confusion, regret, excuses. I listened not because I cared to understand, but because I needed to hear the sound of something breaking. When she finally whispered, "Can we talk about this?" I answered, "There's nothing left to talk about." Hung up. The wedding venue called a week later, confirming the cancellation. The deposit was non-refundable. I told them to keep it. Some nights I still think about that day. The way the truth revealed itself, not through confrontation, but through quiet, undeniable clarity. She said she was in meetings all day. And in a way she was. Just not the kind you come back from.